Hello and welcome to day 14 of my vlog. Today is the first day of the InfoQ conference QCon Plus 2022. My intention was to attend using a free ticket. I made an assumption that the free ticket would allow me to watch sessions live but not watch them on catch-up. What the free ticket actually entailed was access only to sponsored events, which aren't really the ones that I'm interested in. So I was upset for about 5 seconds. Then I remembered I've got the internet and conferences tend to work not in a vacuum. So if someone's doing a conference talk, they tend to do the rounds. So I googled the first keynote speaker, Kevlin Henney, and found his talk 6 Impossible Things as was presented 2 weeks ago at a different conference. So here's my review of what he has to say. So I don't know if you've seen a meme that was doing the rounds fairly recently. It is a text meme. It started off by saying a load of girly stuff about makeup, clothes, boring stuff. Then it said, now that all the men have stopped reading, let's meet in the park and smash the patriarchy. The reason I have shared that is because for a non-tech person like me attending a tech talk, it's a bit like that. So at the beginning, there's lots of very clever talk about numbers and lots of code on. I know I'm not going to understand it. So what I do on YouTube is I put it on double speed. Then once I get past that, I then get to things I'm interested in. Just to give a brief overview, he goes on to talk about website engagement, estimates, roadmaps, tech debt. So I know that Kevlin Henney is someone who is very, very highly respected by developers who I very, very highly respect. My job as a tech team coach is not to inspect the code of the developers. There are so many technical people who are capable of doing that. My job is to bring in a different perspective, to pay attention to the things that no one else is paying attention to, and also to listen. So if technical people tell me there's a problem and something needs to change, I will listen to them. So here is a guy who the developers listen to and respect. So what he's got to say about estimates and tech debt deserves to be listened to. So that's why I'm here along for the ride. He's talking about all sorts of subjects: philosophy, physics, mathematics. And he likes to describe himself as an applied philosopher. He puts in a lot of really cool jokes. There's a lot of really good laugh out loud moments in here if you are sufficiently geeky. So there are references to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and all sorts of good stuff like that. Estimates. Okay, I have worked with developers directly since 2010, indirectly since 2006. Whilst I don't professionally code, I do a bit of hobby coding. I know enough to know how complicated it is, and I also know that code is abstract. It's not like building a wall. You can't just say, I will start with X amount of bricks and it will be finished in X amount of time. It just doesn't work like that. So to hear Kevlin Henney talking about estimation and prediction, he's on the money. He goes on to talk a bit about time travel, saying how you can't really prioritize by business value until you know the business value at some point in the future. But because you can't travel in time, you can't prioritize by business value. And if you can travel in time, why are you sitting here watching me? There are dinosaurs to visit. Love that. Going back to talk about roadmaps, he was talking about the templates that you can find about roadmaps and how to put a template on a PowerPoint, and it's a windy road with points on it. But the problem is there's only one road. He then showed a map of Bristol and said, look, this is what a map of a city looks like. It's not just one road. There are multiple roads. There are different ways to reach your destination. We need the map to navigate. We have choices to make. You need to be able to make multiple choices, which is why this linear roadmap idea is inherently flawed. I've done some work in the innovation space, and this is very, very true. You just don't know where things are going to go, especially when you're working in something as abstract as code. As I said before, it is not a brick wall. And there was a brilliant slide where he showed a roadmap, and 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and then asked how many of you had global pandemic in their roadmap. This made me laugh because I think in the tail end of 2019 I was starting a new project with a team, and we did a risk storming exercise, and I tend to encourage teams to be a little bit crazy in their ideas, and someone said, what if the whole team gets abducted by aliens? And at the time we laughed, wasn't it funny? Of course there'll never be a scenario where there's nobody in the office. Oh yeah, okay, that happened. Assuming that the aliens would let us use our laptops in the spaceship, we'd be fine. Anyway, getting off topic. Right to the end of the talk, so it's about 58 minutes into the one that I watched, and he got asked an audience question about how to plan if you can't trust anything and estimation is hard. His answer was, I'd use a roadmap, which was kind of funny because he just said that roadmaps are not the way to go. Then he added the caveat of a roadmap with more than one road. Humans are great at working with incomplete knowledge, and we estimate the scale of a task and the level of our knowledge, and then where do we prototype, where do we go to find out more information? Is this even something we should do? Why are we worrying about a timescale? Why are we worrying about weeks and hours? Is it even feasible? And then that's what gives us our map of possibilities. So what I would say about Kevlin Henney, very technical, very funny, very knowledgeable, very smart. Listen to him.